That hurt. More verticality. Recording in progress. All right. Welcome to the Straight Red Cart. As you can see, I'm in a different abode. I'm at my parents' house. This is what my parents' guest room looks like. It's a nice queen-size bed. It's fucking awesome. It's a little
dated.
Yeah, it's a little that shit in the background. It's all right. It's all right. It's a little much for me, you know, with the wife and the husband and but hey, my parents have a really nice house, so fuck it. I gotta complain. They live on a fucking lake. They're doing fine. All right, so I am here over the weekend. Brett is still at his normal abode, and we're going to talk about this whole fucking Grenada disaster. It wasn't. First half was seemingly going to be a disaster, and we'll get into the details of that. But what's this thing that Mitch did? Mitch did some shit on Pete.
Yeah. So Mitch apparently got Pete on one of his fun names, and we'll pull it up here in a sec. But I was responding to him like, yeah, not everybody's like us, you and me, where we're always looking for somebody to get one over us. You know?
Yes, we are.
We're always looking at it.
But
man, when you're not used to it, and you're just on the fly,
then I swallow cum happens.
This happens.
And this is another one. Yeah.
All right, ready for this bad boy?
Yeah. Okay. I hope
wide players and they're forward together, and that was a clear example of it. Eden Beaver, do you think the U.S. play out of the back against England? I don't think they're wide players and they're forward together, and that was a clear example of it.
That's Justin's younger brother. I don't know. Justin.
Well,
Beaver.
It was Beaver.
All right. I know. I'm just kidding around.
Yeah.
I love how, like, you know, it doesn't even register with Pete. It doesn't even hit him. He's like,
well, you know,
nothing gets there.
Giving his acting chops, maybe he, after he says it out loud, internally he's going, fuck, I got. But externally, he just keeps rolling with it. Keep going.
I think sometimes you got to roll with it. Are we frozen? Yeah, we are.
No.
Now we're back. I was frozen on my screen. I was like,
yeah, you know, I was telling you before we even started that there was a time right before we started where his audio wasn't synced up with his camera, and it was really trippy.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen again. But we're going to bang through this, folks, because, you know, we played Grenada, and they did have Casey Keller on ESPN. And the chick's like, you know, what's the benefits? What are we going to learn? And that's going to be the name of this video, too, which is USA defeats Grenada. What did we learn? ? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Casey, before the game, said, we're not going to learn much. I mean, the players that are going to get to play, who don't usually get to play, but are going to get to play, the only thing they can't do is fuck up. Even if they score 3 goals, they're supposed to score 3 goals. They're supposed to get 4 assists. This is a no-win situation for most of these guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which makes it even more, if we start at the goalkeeper, abominable. That fucking Ethan Horvath didn't even get to play this game. What?
Yeah. That's nuts.
I mean, even Casey Keller said this is going to be a great opportunity for Horvath to really, you know, get out there, show some minutes, and get comfortable with the team. He's not going to face many shots. No Ethan Horvath, because Ethan Horvath went, I'll ride the pine, coach. Put Matt in.
Like a redneck Cartman you're going on there with.
Come on, I'll ride the pine, coach. Put Johnson in. Put Turner in. No, I like the pine. I like the wood. So that's where we're at with Horvath.
Is he saying he likes pain? Is that what he's saying? I like pain. I like pain.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I cannot believe they did that to Horvath. He must be doing something bad in practice. because
So I'm not 100% positive here of what's happening because obviously Turner got this game, but we were all sitting there going like, well, he's just going to throw on a B squad, which didn't really happen. Some B squad, not all B squad.
some, yep.
But everybody thought this was going to be Horvath's game. So even Tight Shirt and Champion and Olsen, all three of them asked Greg at the beginning before the game started. He's like, "Hey, wouldn't it have been great to see Haji Wright out there?" Or he mentioned a couple other players that have been ready to play. And basically he said, "Oh no, yeah, we'll see them. I think the better test would be against El Salvador."
Okay,
so maybe Horvath gets to play against El Salvador.
Maybe. I mean, maybe that's an insult putting him out there against Grenada. It's Grenada, folks. Anyhow, Aaron Long got yanked at halftime, right?
Planned.
That was weird.
That was planned.
But it looked planned because Zimmerman, he wanted to see how CCV looked with Long and with Zimmerman. Basically.
Well, yeah, I mean, Berhalter even said at the halftime interview, he's like, "Yeah, we're going to pull Long, put in Zimmerman. We're going to do this. So I mean, there's some planned ones. I mean, obviously McKinney's is up at halftime. It's still, was definitely planned. Again, just trying to get him back to match fitness and as sharp. And once again, it was another one of those games like the ideas were there, the sharpness just wasn't.
I think we had CCV and EPB starting this game.
Yes,
and
we did.
EPB is another guy that just got the shaft in this game because if he doesn't get any time in the El Salvador game, this is a waste of his time. He's out. Mm-hmm. He's done. Unless like Richards goes down with a gunshot wound or, whomever else, suddenly pulls a right testicle or has an ankle injury. You don't know. But it doesn't look like EPB he was more interested in seeing CCV for a full 90, and he gave him a full 90. Mm-hmm. And then Anthony Robinson, we already know he's a starter, but it was a smack in the face to Bello to not start Bello out there versus Grenada. That was a smack in the face. That's like, we don't actually trust you. We're going to get some goals first, and then we'll throw you out there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess as a whole, Berhalter's overall game plan, looking at these last two games and then the two games in September being his only chance to really continue to develop that chemistry, my guess is that he's not about just handing out, like, at this point, just handing out, freebie moments, So he went into this game with almost as much of an A squad as he could have. He went there. So.
Yeah, but it does say something that Bello doesn't get to come on until we're up 3-0. I mean, that means like, dude, you're actually way back. You're way back on this fucking thing. You're a backup to Anthony Robinson, but you're not even a guy I really trust to start against Grenada. And then we had Reggie Cannon.
Even Cannon got in there, yeah.
Cannon,
but he played the first game too. Never mind. He played the first game too. Never mind. Sorry, chat.
So I think Cannon's kind of in the inside road right now. I think he's looking good. If we're doing stock up, stock down, I think his stock is even. And whereas I think Bello's stock is
stock up, stock down has no correlation with the actual performance of the game here. It's just where we see him in Berhalter's mind.
Right. Exactly. Like where I see Bello, I think his stock's so far down right now that and then he didn't play that well when he was on the pitch versus Grenada. He made lots of stupid, silly errors. I think he's looking like
we're 3 games into the 4-game window, and what Bello's only played this game, right? He didn't play Morocco or Uruguay, right?
Right. It was a lackluster 30 minutes here. Yeah. So, and it's the only minutes he's gotten so far. And then we go up to, let's do the midfield. Acosta. I think Acosta showed he can play against Grenada and all CONCACAF peoples as a 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Stock stayed the same.
Yeah, nothing's changed there.
Luca De La Torre and Weston McKennie. Luca De La Torre was great and then bad and then okay and then good and then it was all over the fucking place last night. But I thought he did mostly good things. And he made some really great through passes to Ferreira, who just blew him in the first half. just
Yes.
absolutely fucking blew him. So, I mean, I don't know what you do, but you can't blame Luca De La Torre for that. So, but I think
Yeah.
Luca De La Torre his stock was already up and it stayed there.
Well, and I was replaying it through my mind while you were talking there, and I don't recall Luca De La Torre down moments. Like he may have had a missed pass here and there, sure.
He did. He had
but,
a
but
few
as
oopsies.
a whole, I thought his game again against the competition we're playing against. I thought his game was absolutely solid.
I mean, to be fair, we totally dominated this team the whole game.
Yeah, 70%
Even in the first half,
they had no shots on goal.
Even in the first half, where we could only score 1 goal, they couldn't get on our end but one time.
In fairness, we should have had 3 goals in that first half.
Yes, but we'll get to that. I mean, Ferreira saved his ass in the second half, or did he? All right, so McKennie was fine. He played a half, and then they brought in Tillman, and I thought Timothy Tillman was okay. I think he tried to do a little too much, but everybody started trying to do too much in the second half because people are like, "Oh shit, we got 3 goals."
Who cares, you know?
Yeah,
it's like we'll keep taking it to him. No, I don't know. I thought the time I saw him on the ball was fine. He looks confident and not a fish out of water. So
I didn't think he blew anybody's dick off though. So I think that he's still one of those guys that needs to prove himself and maybe get some time versus El Salvador. I don't know. But I'd like to see him play a higher quality opponent. And that goes for most of these guys, except for Roldan and, guys we already knew.
Someone got to play against Morocco.
Yep, he did. So that shows some kind, but we were already way up. We were up 3-0 when he came in. And that takes us to the forwards, right? Morris, stock down, did nothing.
I was to say, I was watching,
nothing.
I think, Jake's video earlier this morning, and he's like, yeah, if anybody's played themselves off this roster, it's probably going to be Morris in this situation. He was a ghost.
He looked like he lost some weight, but
he made a couple runs, and it's just, I don't know, it's not there yet. I don't know what it is.
He's not even getting behind the lines. At least Ferreira was getting behind the lines, and so was Areola was doing really well getting behind the lines.
Yeah,
making passes.
I thought him and Luca had a very nice some form of chemistry built up there because they were just on the same page with each other all night long.
Yep, I think that's a Latino thing. No, I'm just kidding.
We speak in the same language.
Yes, but you're right. There was chemistry there. There was no chemistry down that left side with Morris at all. And maybe you can blame that on you can't really blame it on Robinson because he was doing pretty decent. So,
well, then assuming that Luca was going to be was working as tandem with Areola, then you'd have to say that McKinney would have been Morris's partner.
Yeah.
They just weren't tangoing.
I
think Weston had free run. I mean, they kept saying that he's playing the 10 for Berhalter. And basically, you could say it's a 10 because maybe Berhalter didn't really want him running all the way back and forth, and back to the defense and get back to the attack. He just kind of wanted him to get up and try to do something.
They didn't have any attack. Let's
be
honest. There was no attack. So you could call him a 10 all day. He didn't have to play defense. No one did. I mean, we had the ball the whole game. And then we already talked about Areola. He was really good, but, against Grenada. And then Ferreira.
Go ahead. Before we get into prayer.
Okay, what?
I just want to preface this because this is a talking point. I'm sure I haven't been on Twitter today, so I have no idea. But it's a blanket statement across the board. Just like what Keller was saying, there's nothing to gain, only stuff to lose when it comes to player evaluation in this. So when we say, hey, Ariel was good, but it's against Grenada, or Luca De La Torre had a solid game, but it was against Grenada.
Yeah. There's nothing to gain here. No.
Yeah. So I mean, I just want to preface this and say that we're not saying they're only saying good things about Ariel because they played against Grenada, or we're not taking anything away from his performance. He's still played well.
You're supposed to.
Yeah.
That's like saying, well, I'm a good father, Well, you're supposed to be a good father, you fuckface. I mean, come on. You know, I treat my kids good. I don't beat my kids. We're not supposed to beat your fucking kids, idiot. So, you know, you're supposed to beat Grenada 5-0. You're supposed to. And we did. And Ferrer scored 4 goals, but all in the second half. And I think I texted you at one point and said,
minus this first one. Yeah.
Yeah, the first half, I'm like, Ferrer is just, he's kicking himself off this team.
He should have had, he easily should have had 6 or 7 goals that game.
He should have. I mean, he was obviously on TV distressed about those misses. He was frustrated. Like, he couldn't believe he had missed. That header was the worst header I have ever seen in my life. The easiest header I've ever seen missed that far over the fucking bar. And he had some really, you know, bozo moments. And the fact that Haji Wright didn't get to play, I think, is pretty frustrating. Because I would have liked to at least see him for 10 to 15 minutes at the end of the game. Why he gets to ride Pine, and we got clowns on the field like fucking Roldan and Bello. Sorry if we called them clowns, but that's what they are at this point.
Well, we did make our 5 subs, so it's not like Berhalter was sitting on any.
As we've been shown by Uruguay, you can make more than 5 subs.
Well, this is a Nations League. That was just a friendly.
Oh, that's right.
This is an official match.
This wasn't fuck around friendly. This is fuck around Nations League versus some team that we shouldn't even be playing. They're so not in our league. Anyhow, all right.
Well, I mean that really kind of goes to show the massive drop off when you look at Nations League, CONCACAF Nations League 2 or whatever the fuck it's gonna call, or B. If they were able to get promoted from there up, then I mean it's just. Dude, there's a massive drop off there.
You're talking about little islands that are barely bigger than my dickhead.
It's like 119,000 people population. I mean,
yeah.
We have Indianapolis is bigger.
It's insanity. It's insanity.
Yeah.
That this is what we're doing.
I'm just gonna say. I'm gonna say the 5-0 loss for them has got to be a victory in their mind. They had a guy that came on from the 9th division in England. I mean, that's practically that's Sunday League.
And even though they were down 5-0 when they were still doing subs, the fucking coach was giving every player from Grenada a high five as they came off the field. Great. We didn't lose 10-0. Awesome. We didn't lose 12-0. Very good. Only down by 4. Oh, very good. Only down by 5. So that's where we were, folks. I did want to, before we check out of this, because we're keeping this one short, I did want to say Zimmerman came on and he did Zimmerman things. Some sketchy moments here and there, but mostly okay. He made one CCV made one horrendous pass to Zimmerman, just like that was a suicide pass. And that could have ended up in something bad, but Zimmerman got it right. And then Aronson, I thought, came in and just took it over. It was just a badass. And it was so clear. Clear.
He was at the end of the game. So, I mean, it was, when did he come in? Like late 70th? 70th?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, could you imagine being on the opposite team and seeing him coming in at the 70th minute? Like 70 minutes of running or tired. All of a sudden you have a guy that's being dubbed the Gnat by his own teammates coming in.
Yeah.
God.
I'm still pissed about that Gnat. Still pissed about that Gnat thing. No one's calling me a Gnat when I played. I would have been like, I'm not a fucking Gnat, dude. I'm a fucking wasp. I'm gonna sting your ass. But I get what Weston was saying. I'm just saying it was so clear to me that there were guys out there way above everybody else. Luca De La Torre, way above this opponent. Aronson, way above this competition. Roldan, not so much. Bello, not really. Didn't look way above this competition. Timothy Tellman looked pretty good. Not great. Zimmerman, yeah. I mean, you say CCV's ass on that pass. Yeah. So, I mean, again, Ferreira looked even above the competition, but not in the first half. So,
yeah. So, another thing, guys, we're pointing out his glaring misses, not taking away from the fact that he did finish for them,
and 2 of them were hot.
Yeah. So
2 of them were tap-ins.
We're not just because we're nitpicking on certain things, and they talked about it in the broadcast too. You know, you're going to have those 2 to 3 chances that he missed in the World Cup. You may only get one of those. You've got to make sure you put it away when you get the chance and the opportunity.
Yep.
So it's
exactly.
We're nitpicking, but we're not taking anything away from his performance. He still bagged 4 goals, still won the game.
Could have been 8-0 though.
Yeah,
honestly,
could have been. Yeah,
yeah. And my mom went to bed at halftime. She's like, "Fuck this shit." 1-0. Thought we are supposed to be killing these guys, Derek. I'm like, "Yeah, sorry about that." She went to bed, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna watch the end of this shit." And then, of course, goal. And I was like, "Yep, she missed all the good shit." All right, well, that's okay. But as far as guys that look light years ahead of the opposition, I would also add to that list Anthony Robinson. Looked above, and even Areola looked way above these guys, way above. But that's these guys. Acosta looked extremely competent last night against these guys. So the only way they would have lost stock is if they had fucked up against this team, which they didn't look that great in the first half as far as like in the final third. But we dominated the game.
And not even just fucking something up. But I mean, you could lose stock just by, like with Morris being a ghost. I mean,
or Roldan being a ghost. Although, did Roldan have an assist? Let me see.
I've got it down. Let's see.
No, he did not.
No.
Goal. Ferreira, Ariel Ferreira. Assists were Areola, Acosta, De La Torre, and Aronson. There you go. All right. I think we're going to close it off. It's 8:32. I got to get back to my family and having fun from this weekend, even though it started to fucking rain, Brett. Wasn't supposed to rain today or tomorrow, and now it's fucking rain. I bring it with me when I come up north. It sucks. So I'm apologizing to your pool party tomorrow, which was not supposed to be raining. And then I was supposed to go play golf tomorrow with my mom. Not happening probably if it rains.
A little bit of rain. Go out there and golf anyways.
Nah, it's not worth it. I'm not going to get soaked to the bone to play some golf. Nah, fuck that. All right, guys, we love you. This is sort of an off-the-cuff show. It'll probably, I hope it lasts you until Monday. Until the next time on Straight Red Card, good night. That hurt. More verticality. Recording in progress. All right.